Control. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Good morning, everyone. It is now 11:02 a.m. Calling the roll for the Monday, October 1st Board of Control meeting. We have Nan Baker, Dale Miller, Trevor McAleer serving as an alternate for Dan Brady, Dennis Kennedy serving as an alternate for Armin Budish,
Here.
Lenora Lockett. Here. We have a quorum.
Okay, thank you. We have before us the minutes from the meeting of September 24th. Are there any corrections or changes to the minutes by anybody? Hearing none, I will make a motion to approve the minutes. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. McAleer. All those in favor of approval of the minutes indicate by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Board of Control minutes are approved. Is there any public comment?
No public comment at this time.
And I believe, Mr. Nani, you have a guest that we would like to meet for.
This is Leanne, everyone. She's a sophomore from Rocky River High School who's very interested in having a career in government or law. And she's
Nice to have you. Thank you. Are there any tabled items?
Yes, we have two tabled items. The first item is item BC 2018-652, Court of Common Pleas, Juvenile Court Division. It's a two-part item. A, submitting an RFP exemption on requisition 43614, which will result in an award recommendation to Gordon Foods Service, Inc. in the amount not to exceed $3,861.80. And it's for the purchase of miscellaneous frozen vegetables for the Juvenile Detention Center for the period May 1st, 2018 through July 31st, 2018. And B, recommending the award in connection with said RP exemption.
These first two items are essentially the same situation occurred. In May, June, and July was the first time we tried. Happened is that we ordered what we thought we were going to need and what we had enough. And as you know, the population of our detention center. And I know some of the staff were trying to keep track of how much they were ordering and how much we spent. Veggies, and for the second one, the meat.
Does anybody have any questions? Mr. McAleer.
Sir, are you seeing cost savings by going to the monthly or the quarterly purchases versus the monthly?
I don't think we've done it long enough to really. I believe that was just the first time that we did it. So going forward, I think we're going to out at the court. I know we were to do the RFP for the our pieces and parts done in time. Work with that for January 1st start. So we're hoping to have some new staff at the court take on the food bill.
And welcome back.
So, if you ordered more than you needed, why are these items needed here?
We ordered, however many boxes of the veggies, and instead of staff downstairs in the detention center monitoring, so I've spent, $500, I don't have anything left. She's like, well, we have kids in the detention center, I need to give them food, so she just ordered another box, or however many boxes over.
But we're able to use them.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, they definitely will not go to waste
Huh.
downstairs.
Okay.
Councilwoman Baker.
Just technically speaking, not really questioning what you're purchasing, the contract ended July 31st. So would this, for technical reasons, to make it correct, should the contract be extended in order to include the funding that's being asked?
I believe it was just off of an original purchase order.
Lenora Lockett, Office of Procurement University. The time period is the time period for which the services or goods were offered.
Okay.
And now it came about later on that we realized once it was settled out that they need to be paid for. But for the record, this is the time period that those goods were purchased.
Even though the amount that's being asked is more than the original amount that was originally thought was needed?
Correct. What's indicated here is the time period for which this rec will apply.
Mm-hmm.
The awards that were provided during that time period were previously awarded and they were done as DOs, so that is not being amended. That's
Okay.
why this is actually a separate standalone, but it was triggered based on the court believing they had capacity within that PO to
Okay.
make the additional purchases. When it was determined that they did not, that PO has to stand as is, that it was authorized, and we're coming back to the board now to ask for the ability to pay for the additional items that were purchased during that time period.
And just for question for later, if this was not enough, how many times can we add to that requisition before we say, we've overspent? Go ahead.
Rich. Closer to the microphone.
Overspend is factor that amount that was over the original.
Okay. It is. You wouldn't. Okay. Thank you. I thought it was a little odd. Thanks.
Any other questions? Seeing none, I would move to approve this item. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. McAleer. All those in favor of approval indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The item is approved.
Moving on to the second item, BC 2018-653, again, Juvenile Court Division. Two-part item. A, submitting an RFP exemption on requisition 43616, which will result in an award recommendation to Gordon Foods Service, Inc., in the amount not to exceed $447, and it's for the purchase of miscellaneous meats for the Juvenile Detention Center, and it's for the period May 1st, 2018 through July 31st, 2018. And B, recommending the award in connection with said RFP exemption.
Councilwoman Baker.
Unusual and not to happen again.
Yes.
Thank you.
And you bought way more vegetables than meat, so. Any other questions? Seeing none, I will make a motion to approve this item. Is there a second? Second by Councilman Miller. All those in favor of approval indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The item is approved. Thank you.
We're moving on to new items for review. Item BC 2018-662, Department of Public Works, submitting an amendment to a contract with Great Lakes Construction Co. for the Towpath Trail Stage 1 from Harvard Avenue Trailhead to Steelyard Commons in the city of Cleveland for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $20,995.63.
Thank you. Any questions? Councilwoman Baker.
Just curious, what is it about the federal pipe that doesn't meet Cleveland standards? That would meet all regulations and.
It meets their standards. They just like to use type. So the feds make it open source so that different vendors can supply, clay pipe versus.
Yeah.
And so that it's open and competitive. And now Cleveland only. So they make you pay that premium. Sometimes it comes in where the is not any different cost than
Yeah.
the other one that they bid, the lowest.
If I do you consider what they're asking in Cleveland to be better, more than just different?
I think just different. I
Really?
mean, we think they're all acceptable, but different cities have different,
Hmm.
preferences. It's the same thing with, like traffic signals go in certain controllers that go in brands.
Right.
Sometimes the city likes to use all,
Hmm.
so they're standard.
Okay, good, thank you.
Any other questions? Hearing none, I'll move to approve the item. Is there a second? Second by Councilwoman Baker. All those in favor of approval indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The item is approved.
Next item, BC 2018-663, Department of Public Safety and Justice Services, recommending an award on requisition 43100 to M&J Technologies Direct, Inc. in the amount not to exceed $79,248, and is for the purchase of 26 mobile data terminals for use by Cuyahoga County Sheriff's Department, and it's for the period September 30th, 2018 through March 20th, 2019.
Good morning, Mary Beth Vaughn from Public Safety. And bids were competitively bid. We received 5 responses and we're making a recommendation to award to the lowest bidder. These are replacement local data terminals for the sheriff's office, and we're paying in the bulk of the cost from the state homeland security grant. The reason for the general fund contribution was the lowest bid actually came in less than the amount that was for the grant. So we were able to purchase 5 additional off of the grant by putting it.
Thank you. Any questions? Seeing none, I'll move to approve. Is there a second? Second by Councilman Miller. All those in favor of approval, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The item is approved.
Next item, BC 2018-664, Department of Public Safety and Justice Services, recommending an award on requisition 42829 to Vasu Communications, Inc. in the amount not to exceed $78,681.20. And it's for the purchase of 40 P25 compliant 700/800 megahertz portable radios for first responders.
Mary Beth Vaughn again. This is a purchase, again, this was competitively bid. We received 2 responses and the recommendation for the lowest bidder. This radio purchase will give 35 radios to the
Thanks,
Richmond Heights
Lisa.
Police Department, as well as complete the project for the Cuyahoga Valley radio project. That project previously received 220 radios. This will provide 1 radio for each of the following communities: Brecksville, Brooklyn Heights, Cuyahoga Heights, Independence, and Bellevue.
Does anybody have any questions? Mr. Meckler?
Sure, but do you have any background of between the two items there? There were, what, 77 or so interest bidders? Why only we received 7? Have you heard anything of why so many chose not to actually put a bid in?
Okay, on the previous one, the MDTs to get 5 bids is pretty standard. We, ideally, even at the federal level, they only require that we get 3 bids, so 5 is not a bad number. The reason for the 2 is that what we're seeing is, because we consistently go with the lowest bidder, fewer and fewer vendors are willing to submit. We actually send out a follow-up request to the people who were on the plan holders bid list who didn't submit bids, and that well, we specifically wanted.
So these other potential bidders just know that they're not going to be able to meet probably who they know will be the lowest bidder. Is that the? Was the second bid close to the lowest bid for that one?
I believe it was relatively close. I don't remember the dollar amount off the top of my head.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Councilwoman Baker?
The MARC system is used by Rocky River.
It sounds right to me. I don't have those images.
I guess I'm asking because they followed the state of Ohio lead and changed to all MARCs, and then there are some cities that are not on the MARC system, Cleveland being one of them.
Correct.
So it makes it, I mean, how difficult is it to have different radios for different cities, especially when one of them is one of the largest cities?
Well, in that particular case, that just was a matter of, and if you're purchasing the key and the specs actually
Okay.
It's just, there's definitely a preference for Motorola, but somebody else that it's out there. That city has, been, last couple of times that we've bid.
If I may, it's being given the state of Ohio supports the MARC system, are we, first of all, encouraging it to these cities? And secondly, how many, and if you can't answer now, it's okay, how many cities are actually part of the MARC system?
I'll find that out for you.
Okay, thanks. It'd be interesting. I know Rocky River was disappointed to see that Cleveland wasn't part of the MARC system after they made their investment. So I'd be curious to know. Thank you.
Any other questions? Lenora?
Lenore also Truman University. Just to follow up to Mr. McAleer's question, the second bidder, Cleveland Communications, was $2,200 total.
Just seems a large number of vendors decided not to bid, pulled the bid specs or chose not to bid.
Actually,
Thank you. Any other questions? Hearing none, I will move to approve the item. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Miller. All those in favor of approval indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The item is approved. Thank you.
Next item, BC 2018-665, Court of Common Pleas Corrections Planning Board, recommending an award on requisition 43469 and enter into an agreement with Alcohol, Drug Addiction, and Mental Health Services Board of Cuyahoga County in the amount not to exceed $160,000, and it's for residential services for dually diagnosed men for the period July 1st, 2018 through June 30th, 2019.
This award to the Adams Board in the amount of $160,000 for the period 7/1/18 through 6/30/19. The funding goes towards a particular vendor providing residential services for males that have a co-occurring disorder. The process for this was the Corrections Planning Board had the money in hand in May. We went through a process, got through the Adams Board Program and Finance Committees, and then into their full board. The full board approved it in late July. The executive director signed it. We could have had this to you in August. However, we too are going through a transition with a new person in on-base, and so there was a delay with that. Procurement has been more than helpful with us in that transition.
Any questions? Hearing none, I'll move to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Miller. All those in favor of approval indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The item is approved. Thank you.
Next item, BC 2018-666, Department of Health and Human Services, Division of Children and Family Services, recommending an award on requisition 42122 and to enter into a contract with Charter Communications Operating LLC, doing business as Spectrum Reach, in the amount not to exceed $24,998.98 for digital advertising and search placement services to recruit, foster, and adoptive parents for children in the custody of the Division of Children and Family Services. And it's for the period October 1st, 2018 through June 30th, 2019.
Good morning, Bob Math with the Office of Health and Human Services on behalf of Division of Children and Family Services. We issued a bid to seek some additional advertising help to recruit foster parents and adoptive parents, going forward. And this effort is using digital advertising, social media. In October, the focus will be on recruiting foster parents. And then in November, the focus will be on, in addition to foster parents, but also focus on adoptive parents, since November is National Adoption Awareness Month. So we're hoping that this small contract is all funded through state adoption incentive dollars. We're hoping that this contract will enhance our efforts to recruit additional foster and adoptive parents.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, I'll move to approve the item. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Miller. All those in favor of approval indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? The item is approved. Thank you. Now we move to the consent agenda. Is that correct, Andrea?
Yes, the consent agenda is item numbers 667 through 671.
So if everybody takes a moment or two to look those items over. Okay, does anyone have any questions or comments on any of the items on the consent agenda? Hearing none, I'll make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second?
Here, all those in favor of approval of the consent agenda, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Consent agenda is approved. So, Madam Clerk, is there any other business?
Yes, we have one item. It's a mission critical item, and it's from the Department of Public Works. It's on requisition number 39940. The vendor's name is The Plain Dealer in the amount of $2,000, not to exceed, and it's for services for legal notice advertisement for the Cedar Road construction project.
Nicole English with Public Works. So this is just our typical ad for a construction project in the Plain Dealer. The issue was ODOT came to us last week and said, you have authority to sell this project and we'd like it to be done by the end of the year. When we backtracked that because of council not having 2 meetings in December, it literally needed to get advertised this week. So we quickly did our part on our side to get the plans ready and needed this ad to go out. I believe it's being advertised tomorrow or today. So it's just our normal construction bid.
Any questions on this item? Seeing none, I'll move to approve. Is there a second?
No, you have to read into the record amending the agenda.
Okay. I will make a motion to amend today's agenda to consider the item for the Plain Dealer. Do I have a second? Second by Councilman Miller. All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? So the agenda is amended. Now I will move to approve the item. Is there a second for that? Second by Mr. McAleer. All those in favor of approval indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The item is approved. Councilman Miller.
These first two non-voted items were these contracts for universal pre-K got canceled. Can someone explain why these contracts were canceled?
The department isn't available, but I was told that, and it's also listed in the backup information, that the two providers lost their 5-star rating, and if they lose the 5-star rating, that's an automatic termination.
Okay. Sorry to hear that.
Any other questions or comments? Is there any additional public comment?
I just would like to make one little statement. Next Tuesday is the next scheduled Board of Control meeting, October 9th, as on Monday, October 8th is Columbus Day.
Okay.
Okay.
Councilwoman Baker.
If I may just go back, if I may, on the agenda.
Certainly.
Just one for the record to clarify on the BC 2018-665. That's a 90 days late from the time that the contract started. No funds were allocated up till now. Have services been provided?
Services have been provided. No money has been expended out of this yet.
Thank you.
Thank you. No other questions or comments? I will move to adjourn. Is there a second? Second by Councilman Miller. All those in favor of adjournment, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.